Did you ask for fan questions?
No, I didn't. I guess I'll ask now.
I got it.
Little behind the oh boy. Yeah, well, I'll hook you up with a retweet so we don't get like 4 questions from people we know.
No. I think Teddy will get a decent amount
I can
of
get like
questions.
30, at least.
I'll take a nice cool 30.
Was it you or Nash who used to ask, even though one of us already asked?
Nash. Nash would text me like a letter from like the 17th century. Like, dearest Ruben, I hope I didn't impede on your Twitter questions. And I'd be like, no, Nash, I already asked. He'd still ask. So, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Nerd Soup Podcast. I am Bo Oliver, joined today by Aaron, the Nerd Soup Monkey, and Teddy, and we are back to talk about the world of movies, TV, video games. You can listen to the Nerd Soup Podcast, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. YouTube, of course. Send us your fan questions at NerdSoup4U. We're also on Twitter at NerdSoup, Bo Soup, Nerd Soup Monkey, Teddy Nerd Soup, Anthony JQ Nash, Purple Girl, and S. Almost got it there.
Yeah.
Shark Tale, I stumbled. But yeah, no, we're back. We got a lot of good stories. How do you trip underwater?
He had it.
Somebody the other day was looking at Scorsese's filmography, and they were like, he directed Shark Tale?
I think
That was
me.
Teddy.
That was Teddy.
Yeah, that was Teddy last week on the podcast.
That was on the podcast?
Yeah.
Wow, my memory's shot.
I confused Tarantino with Scorsese.
Good times.
The other night, have you guys watched anything new recently? Well, I know, Teddy, you saw the, what's that movie you messaged
Lovebirds?
me about? Lovebirds?
Yeah, that was a harsh score, dude. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was fine.
You gave it in the 6s, right?
But they marketed the movie as like the follow-up to The Big Sick. First of all, nothing like The Big Sick. And The Big Sick, and so I was hyped for this movie, though, but, I mean, The Big Sick was fantastic. This movie was all right. Wasn't anything special. But I did that and Onward double feature, and I think it's safe to say that I'm the only person on Earth that's done that as a double feature.
You went high on that one, too. Would you go like 8-2?
Onward?
Yeah.
No, I think he went 7-8, right?
7-8.
Oh.
Really good movie. I think it could have been a little better, but I think it's a solid addition to the Pixar library. But
I've been watching Avatar.
Dude.
What a just an incredible show.
I put down one season.
You did?
I love Avatar, man.
Dude, I just got to the
I was
episode.
so happy it was on.
I didn't just get to it, but when Toph gets introduced and she's earthbending.
Oh. Well, I haven't really been keeping. I don't know about you guys, but the 2020 new releases, the way they're doing it now with video on demand or streaming, it's hard to keep up with. I've watched like no movies. new
Scoob,
releases.
no. I always see the Scoob advertisement on my PS4 when I go to Netflix, and it just looks so bad that
I'm
they're
not
all
doing it.
Scoob?
Yeah. It's. I heard it was like, well, not heard. I saw it. It was like $25. Like,
I think it was 20 to rent, but a lot of them are getting
Like, what
cheaper
is that?
now. But I mean, I think I'm going to start because I don't know, the past few months I haven't really been like wanting to go see movies or do anything. So I think I'm finally feeling where I'm going to start going back and seeing all the 2020 releases.
I've watched an ungodly amount of movies throughout these 2 months.
I've been doing a lot of series more.
I'm talking about like newer movies. I've been watching a lot of movies and shows, but I haven't really been keeping track of the new releases. But I think I'm ready to. I'm going to watch.
I didn't even know there were
later.
new releases coming out.
I feel like you prepared a statement for this.
What?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like right now.
No, I'm just talking
There's
about.
been like 3 movies that have.
No, there's a lot. That's what I'm saying. I was surprised of how many new releases came out. They're just right under your nose.
I just see them as they come. I don't know. Like if I'm Netflix, I'll see what's new, what's trending, and continue watching. And that's my extent of scrolling through Netflix.
You're not a big scroller.
No, there's too much. Then you know what I love doing on Netflix? Watching the trailers for each thing.
No,
Oh, I
that's
love a good
always
trailer.
yeah.
I was watching the Uncut Gems trailer. I didn't watch Uncut Gems, but I was watching the Netflix trailer.
I did
and it's
watch.
when he just gets the opal.
I watched it the other day. It's,
Yeah?
I thought it would be less anxiety-inducing than last time because I already saw the movie and know what's going to happen. No, it's still.
It's like an adventure story, right? It's like he's got the opal here. Now you have to go there, Howard. And it's like he keeps going to different
It's so
locations
stressful.
throughout the city.
I
Yeah.
hate it, but I love it.
Have you seen it yet?
No,
Oh, okay.
Drink
I
a
was
Bang
about to-
Energy
ooh.
drink and
I
watch
was
it.
about to spoil the fuck out of that movie for you.
I thought you almost did.
Yeah, I was about to. You spoiled Last of Us 2 a couple weeks ago on the pod, man.
No,
You really did.
no. I think
The
you
more
guys
I think about
no,
that-
you guys are just thinking too much into it. It was just an example, like
Did you tweet out for
Metaphor.
fan questions?
No.
Of course you didn't.
I didn't
Let's
want
get to
to
the first
forget-
story.
I didn't
while
think
Teddy
you wanted
did.
me to.
Yeah, no, seriously, do it. All right.
Well, I'll never forget when you, right before going to see Rise of Skywalker, it's like, I can't believe Rise of Palpatine.
Well, that's the thing. I had known for so long that I was just openly talking about it.
I
I
did
didn't
that?
even say that. I said I
did.
included
Oh.
it in a sentence about the implications of her being a Palpatine. I was like, oh, so that means, Palpatine must have, done this, this, and this. And you were like, huh? And I was like, oh, fuck. All right, let's go to the first story here. We actually have another return. It's not Rey, it's not Palpatine, it's Superman. Henry Cavill is in talks, or maybe just in talks to resume his contract or renegotiate. I don't know. I don't know what the dispute is here or what the initial dispute was. It always seemed like a situation that could be remedied, and it looks like it might be. It looks like Cavill might come back for more Superman sequels, and I think we all enjoy him as Clark Kent and Superman. So,
well, it said it's not likely he would star in a solo film or Man of Steel 2.
I thought you were going to say it's not likely that he's coming back.
No.
All right, next.
But rather like he'll appear in other DC films.
I think
right, I could see that.
I think it's a ploy. Because after he appears in a couple, then they're going to start getting him back into his own solo.
Only DC would treat Superman like he's the Hulk.
Yo,
they're like,
dead ass.
They're like, we don't know the full rights. Yes, you do. I don't know. Check that.
It might just be more Cavill. Him.
Yeah, fans don't really like him. We'll use him in.
Well, no, just
Superman. Nobody likes Superman.
His commitment to The Witcher, and I'm sure he doesn't want to be tied down strictly doing Witcher and Superman for the next 5 years. So
why wouldn't you? I would.
Actors want to explore. I don't get that either, but I do get it. Where it's like, just get the bag, fuck it, I'm Superman. I'm fucking...
He seems like an actor that maybe would be satisfied with just going back and forth between The Witcher and Superman.
You want to try new things. You can be the punch guy in Fallout. So...
He already did his new thing. He showed them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come back to what everybody wants you, guy.
He really did. They like went on a break for a relationship, and he was out there living his life, looking good, testing the waters, and they said, wait a minute, come back here. Tugged on Superman's cape, literally. And so I would like to see him get a second movie, because I think Superman's got a great rogues gallery. We always talk about who's got the strongest villains. Superman's got some iconic ones that they haven't used before. So, and even a good Lex Luthor performance. I mean, obviously with Jesse Eisenberg, the continuity would be weird. But how would you like this
really
to happen
for DC anymore?
Well, it looks like they're gonna. I don't know. They have to smash it with the Flash, right? You would think.
That's the only route. I mean, if you're gonna bring Henry Cavill back, I mean, they have Gal Gadot, and seemingly she's going to be Wonder Woman for the foreseeable future. Ezra Miller, who knows what he's up to or doing?
Choking fans out.
Yeah, or if he's going to be in any future movies.
Or in a jail cell.
We've heard about Flashpoint for years now.
Yeah.
Momoa, he's probably locked down as Aquaman, but Ben Affleck as Batman. It's Robert Pattinson's Batman. We're going to get both in 2021. There's a Joker out there. You have Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey.
Yeah, there's two Jokers.
The Suicide Squad. I don't know.
I
don't mind if they make other, I guess, solo movies and it's kind of loosely connected. It's fine as long as they're good movies and entertaining. I can really care less about the continuity, but I mean, it's just a mess right now.
Well,
as far as that,
Flashpoint is going to be Doctor Strange's to DC, right? How after they do Flashpoint, anything can happen because like after Doctor Strange figured out time travel and both in realities, anything can happen, right? So if Marvel can do it and DC can do it, I'd be fine with it if they can do it and work everybody in there.
Well, I just don't think they have a plan because now Cavill's coming back. We're going to do the Snyder Cut, but now we have Pattinson's Batman, and what are we doing here?
Are they just doing that phrase, toss as much shit on the wall and see if it sticks?
Yeah, no, that's what they have been doing. And it just, I can't talk about DC without being frustrated that they didn't have a plan going into this. And I know it's tough with what Marvel tried to do, but you have 75 years of material.
At least with Superman.
Yeah, and at least with Superman, it's just all you have to do is give the solo characters good movies. And people always say, well, if there's no continuity, they just want to do really good and gritty solo movies. Joker was good, and Birds of Prey was good, but they're not blowing me away. It's not like they pushed aside the extended universe for masterpieces.
Right.
They're like only high art over here. It's also good. They have gotten better. So with Cavill coming back, Christopher McQuarrie was in talks, right, for directing a Superman movie, the director of the Mission Impossibles.
Yeah.
So,
oh, really?
So, I mean, he's done a great job with that franchise. I mean, he just keeps delivering. So I think he's got a good Superman movie in him. And even Matthew Vaughn was in talks a couple years ago. He was coming off the high of Kingsman. Well, then he was coming off the low of Kingsman 2. So
I don't think a Man of Steel 2 is out of the question, but it's not likely now. But let's just say it does happen. And Snyder Cut is, pretty good.
Zack Snyder?
Yeah. I'm not saying I want it or don't, but I feel like that's the route they could go.
Ted, what do you think about that?
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think it would happen. And
we've seen worse, so it could happen. I'm not saying it can't.
It wouldn't. They would have to be trolling at that point. They're like, guess who's? Maybe if it's a big hit. If it's he shared that picture of Steppenwolf on his on Twitter, right?
No, that was
Zack Snyder.
Darkseid.
I can see him doing that.
Oh, that was Darkseid?
Yeah.
Can you stop playing with that?
I can see him doing that if the Snyder Cut blows everyone away, and it's like crazy good. It would have to be like crazy good to even bring him in there.
In this day and age, we need Christopher Reeve's Superman. We need the Richard Donner, hopeful Boy Scout, gee whiz, what Tom Brady tries to be, but actually, you know, because Tom Brady thinks he's Mr. I think he's actually funny on Twitter. You see Eli on Twitter this past weekend?
And he's going.
Yeah, it was
He
funny.
was it the weekend? No, it's just a week.
Yo, Peyton is hilarious.
Peyton's good.
I'm tired of Peyton.
You see that?
I think it's the
So you're
nation.
tired of Peyton?
I think it's the is it Nationwide?
Yeah, Nationwide is on
the
your
country
side.
guy. Those commercials
Chicken
fucking
parm, you taste
stink.
so good.
What the hell's his name? Who's the country guy? Brad? No, not Brad Paisley.
You're a big country guy.
Yeah, you
Who the
should
hell
know
is
this.
it?
Kenny Chesney,
No, it's not. Who? I'll
Luke
figure it
Bryan.
out.
Toby Keith,
I'll
Yeah,
figure it
Toby
out.
Keith.
Yeah.
Kid Rock.
Conway Twitty. Let's
Does
move
she
on
get
to
a
the
discount? That's a tree. Oh God.
And can I get a hot tub? Is that
I think the
same
worst
company?
thing that happened to Peyton Manning is other people telling him how funny he is. He was football funny.
Well, it was the SNL performance.
Mhm.
It was because he was a good actor athlete,
Yeah.
but he was dude.
That was an
when
all
he's-
time.
when he's throwing rockets at those kids.
That was an all
So
time.
you got to catch that.
No,
He's tattooing one of the kids.
Yeah.
he is funny, and he's a pretty good comedic actor, but I think,
They're trying to break into a car. It's like, oh fuck, run.
well, it's like now he's like, oh, fuck, I'm the funny guy now, so now I gotta always
Right?
be
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Have
You
you
know,
s-
we need a goofy athlete. Oh, let's get Peyton Manning.
Have you seen the interview with him talking about the SNL skit? He
No.
says the parents, he felt so uncomfortable. They used Nerf balls instead of footballs.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he felt so uncomfortable pegging these little kids with footballs. And the parents of the kids just said, just do it. We don't care. Because he was actually hitting them. It wasn't like, I don't know, proper.
It's funny how he didn't feel uncomfortable teabagging that assistant at Tennessee. Let's move on to the next story. HBO Max. HBO Max has launched. Was that a surprise?
I had
launch?
no idea it happened until Aaron sent the podcast info.
$15 a month for the same
Yeah.
price it doubles the library of HBO Now. Library
Was this
includes
a commercial?
HBO original content plus DC films. This video was sponsored by HBO Now. Harry Potter, Studio Ghibli, and films from the Criterion Collection, as well as shows such as Friends, Big Bang Theory, Rick and Morty, and more.
So
Pretty
is there
good deal.
anything?
People seem to be impressed by this on Twitter yesterday.
Was there anything more that I need than my HBO Go? Only watch
Studio
it for like
Ghibli,
the.
Rick and Morty,
What do I have right now?
and more.
Criterion?
I have HBO Go right now.
Yeah, no, it's basically all the contents of HBO Go pretty much reflects all the content on regular HBO, but just available to stream whenever you want. This is adding in other things like he said, and I guess more movies from Warner Brothers and just more originals. We're gonna get the Snyder Cut on HBO Max and things like that. So it's the same price as HBO. So I guess it's kind of like a no-brainer. And I think if you already pay for HBO or HBO Now, you automatically switch over.
Is he selling you right now?
Yeah, so
Is
if
that your
I
wallet taking a
my
hit?
my parents have Optimum and they pay for HBO, can they drop the HBO and just stream it on the Fire Stick and download HBO Max?
Yeah, but I think you could do it.
Isn't that
regardless.
undermining their own company? Because aren't they making money off Optimum for people subscribing to them for
No.
for the movie
No,
channels?
you
No.
subscribe directly to the premium channels. I'm pretty sure, but I think if you already have it, you can switch over. I know if you have HBO Now, you can switch over.
I have a
But
headache thinking about this.
Yeah, I tuned out. I'm over here just thinking about what I'm going to do after the pod.
well, I'm gonna use your account to try to sign in, so I'll let you know if it works.
Yeah, maybe.
Send me that
work.
if it works.
I've been using
Gotcha.
I haven't been using it, but we signed into Canopy with the public library.
What's Canopy?
Yeah, apparently you could sign in and you get all the films from your public library. And it's great, man. Great new releases, old movies, Criterions, classics, independents, everything.
Do you have to have a library card?
Yeah, I think so.
What do you? They still have those, huh?
For
You need to take the test, yeah.
for the listeners, describe what Criterion is. I know I speak for the listeners.
You just said that like I'm
being interviewed on like C-SPAN. For the listeners, can you explain Criterion?
Sounds like a transformer.
It's a company that basically specializes in preserving classic and older movies
Oh.
and international films. So they have a streaming service as well, but a lot of their movies are going to be on this HBO Max. So people were saying for Criterion, because they launched a streaming service, but half of their library is now on this other behemoth that's coming out. And I can't imagine Criterion's numbers are that great, you know. It's like me, my cousin in Texas,
Well, I think it's a good move for them because
Scorsese.
it's I don't know what the deal they made is, but I think this is the better route, a more mainstream streaming service to put their kind of niche films Or
Yeah, they should make a deal where it's just the whole library, because it is weird the way you watch Criterion. It's like, well, these movies are leaving at the end of the month. It's like, didn't you put these out on Blu-ray? How are they leaving? So, but you know, that's how it is with the rights.
I mean, streaming services though, if you cut the cord, it just keeps piling up. You know?
You're so full of shit.
What do you mean?
It's still cheaper.
No, I
You did the math?
did the math.
Yeah, but nobody's got all of them. Everyone's constantly sharing. I don't pay.
Well,
I pay for like one,
What
maybe.
do I have?
I probably pay for the most of them out of you guys, and I still have cable. But
No,
You're a sucker.
No, I got it.
then I get internet and local sports.
I got
You
Disney
know?
Plus,
I use
Netflix,
people's
Hulu,
Netflixes, and I'm good to go.
HBO Go, Prime, and ESPN Plus.
Oh, you're hemorrhaging cash right
You
now.
know, in another lifetime, you were somebody who were like, these books, you're going to rot your memory. Just writing everything down.
I'm just saying it's getting a little expensive.
It's
to be a
getting too
cord
easy
cutter.
for these kids.
They're sweating over there. They're looking at the Optimum commercials or Verizon Fios, thinking, not a bad deal.
They're sweating over there.
A buddy of mine ditched his cable company and got a Roku, and so he's just gonna do streaming, and he's paying more than cable.
Well, that's because they're not doing it. I mean, if you're at the point where you're paying more, obviously you shouldn't cut, you know?
Yeah.
But if you find a way where you know that you're sharing and you know that you've kind of, you know, you moved around your
Did
resources.
something, yeah.
Yeah, you can't just
You
go
made something
blindly
yourself.
into, I'm just going to stream. It's like, well, that costs money too,
Yeah.
bucko.
Well, he started off small, and then more came out, and then more came out, and now
Well,
it's-
the idea.
Well, what do you want? Well, how
know.
much do you need?
I know.
The idea of cutting my cable right now, I just like the idea of not being able to watch. Like, look what's coming out on TBS today, or the sports. You know, Hulu has live sports. I guess I can do that, but I don't know. Just like live TV on network television. You know, you have to wait if you like a show on FX. You have to wait how long for it to come on Netflix or Hulu? It's not worth it.
Oh, this was
It's totally worth it.
this wasn't
Maybe out of
Like
the
if
loop.
there's one show possibly that you want to watch on FX, maybe.
maybe if you see it in the commercial.
Yeah, if you've seen a good commercial for a show you might like,
Yeah,
that's too high a price.
can't
After
put
you
a pri-
cut cable, you're gonna go
can't
to
put
like
a price on that.
your little Gamora in your fantasy. It's gonna be like, what did it cost, Aaron? It's like commercials.
You know, speaking of FX, this wasn't on the topic list, but It's Always Sunny got renewed for 15 season.
They just
yeah.
want to keep.
Longest running sitcom of
Say
all
something
time.
stupid.
It's
go
gotta
ahead.
be. No, I'm not gonna say anything stupid. I don't hate on Always Sunny. I just haven't seen it.
Can you?
I
you
was
please
going
just
to
watch
ask, is it the longest running live action show
broke the
ever?
record. Yeah,
But it's probably not.
it
For
said it broke,
sitcoms.
it said it
but,
broke the record for.
but not just
comedy.
in general.
Comedy sitcom.
But I'm just saying in general for like any show ever.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
Simpsons.
right?
It can't be.
Where's
no,
Simpson
for
like
live
40?
action.
Oh,
Doctor Who.
Yeah, right.
That's been on
Doctor
for
Who.
like 80 years.
But
now.
how many seasons? Because Doctor Who, they took a break.
For like a decade.
Twilight Zone.
I don't know. Who knows at this point? Then hasn't that show been on since like the 60s?
Yeah, but there's a gap. There's a huge gap, and then they renewed it in like the mid 2000s.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure, according to Marissa. Get Marissa on the line, Ted. You want to move on to the next story here?
Is she active on Twitter?
Oh yeah, tweet her. Oh, we have the new trailer for Tenet. You know what? I actually don't even want to talk about this because I haven't seen the trailer.
Really?
I don't want to see it.
No.
Why not?
I want to go in. I've seen enough. I'm sold.
I was gonna
Things
say.
go backwards.
I was sold on the first trailer.
I was gonna say, like, am I like too simple-minded to not understand this fucking movie? Like, what? I don't get what's going on. I'm
Well,
lost.
I heard this trailer, a lot of questions.
even from the
people had
first
a lot of
trailer, I'm just
questions.
completely lost in this movie.
Well, people were. Somebody messaged me. It's like I watched an explained of the trailer, and I'm still confused. So I was like,
People are explaining trailers now.
yeah.
I said I couldn't wait for after the movie, like the 20 YouTube videos. Tenet explains.
Yeah.
Is it
watching
like
Are we one of
us?
them though?
No, I'll let other people do that dirty work.
Teddy explains.
I explained Tenet,
He just talks about Inception the whole time.
but so
From the trailer, though, is it like Westworld season 3, where it's a determinism thing, where they're just reading people and anticipating what they'll do or what they've done?
I was just gonna say that. Is it like they're seeing what's gonna happen and they're getting to the spot?
You
Before
didn't
it
watch the
happens?
trailer either.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
No, he watched it. He's just. I probably should have just watched it. I wouldn't.
You should have.
It would have made a difference.
uh,
Minority Report-ish. Actually, I really don't want to know.
okay.
Because I'm such a big fan of Christopher Nolan, and people were laughing at him today because he had that ridiculous quote about looking in a mirror. Did you see that?
No.
It was, I often think about this in my private moments. When you look in a mirror, left goes right, right goes left, but up doesn't go down. And somebody was like, Christopher Nolan
Whoa.
doesn't know how mirrors work. And apparently it's like a philosophical question that was pondered
I get that.
by the big philosophers.
I saw a tweet. It's like like philosophy Majors be like, I got a thought due tomorrow.
There's nobody smarter than philosophy majors.
I don't know if this is a spoiler because it was the working title of the film, but I don't know if it's a spoiler for what the overall goal of the film is. But if it's true,
what's the working title?
It could be a spoiler about what they are going to try to do.
Why would he do that though? He knows that's going to get out there.
I know, so I don't think it's true. But if it is, whoa!
Can you say it so I know it?
I'll say.
Well, what's up? Does it match up with John David Washington saying this is going to change the landscape of filmmaking?
I mean,
I wonder how much of it is going to be in IMAX.
The way
What's
the
film, technical sell?
The way the film is presented, I think, is going to could have the potential to do that because all the
from a narrative perspective,
the way they play with time and things like that. It's kind of maybe Memento meets kind of Inception, where they might cut it up and place it in different, like the way they edit it in different.
You're
selling it. No.
The way they edit it,
keep
portray time in like a different fashion.
The more you stumble, the more I'm like, yes.
And then just like the overall brain fuckedness of Inception.
So overall, you don't know either.
Yeah. No, I have no clue. You're not supposed to watch a trailer and be like, yeah.
See, you know what problem with Inception, and it's actually the reverse for most people, is a lot of people don't like the first act and I guess the second act-ish, because I feel like it's just exposition. He's just explaining how everything works. He's explaining the world. I love that. I thought the second half of the movie and the third act felt like just a long trailer. So I hope sometimes, I guess, he hasn't really gotten bogged down with that before, but sometimes his the pacing can be off as the movie goes along.
Now you say
that. I wonder if this is going to be, I mean, sometimes he can be a bit of a sloppy filmmaker, but sometimes he goes big and ambitious, and it's incredible. So...
Now you say that, it kind of does make sense. I do feel like maybe this movie might do the same thing, where like over a lot of it's going to be like John David Washington learning what he's going through right now.
Right. Yeah. No, it looks like that from the trailer. But yeah, I mean, and that to me it interests me because he always puts these characters in weird and unique worlds. So I'm like, oh, okay, what is going on? I'd like to know a little bit more.
Crazy thing is too, if you play the trailer backwards, it's just as confusing. So I think he did that on purpose.
If you watch it with a blindfold, you'll have no
but
idea.
you better hit though. You better hit with your concept if you're going to explain an entire.
I mean, his concepts are always on point. I think a lot of things, like even with Interstellar, I think the idea of Interstellar is brilliant, but a lot of people just don't like the in-betweens and, I guess, how the movie played out. But he's always had great ideas and is able to, for the most part, execute on them in every level.
Right. He's got these great ideas, but sometimes I wish he would almost leave them alone at the end and let us come to our conclusions. He doesn't leave his movies as ambiguous as I wish. I mean, Inception's obviously got the quintessential cut. We don't know if it fell or if it's still rolling. But it was more of... the second half of Inception could have been weirder. It's like, this is the world as we know it, but there's a whole new dimension to this dream fuckery that we can't even understand.
I gotta rewatch that movie.
And then, I just want every director to be Lynch. So it's like, go Lynchian. Good concept, but make it more like Lynch. So, but this looks, I can't. I told one of my friends, I was like, I can't watch anything more about this because I always have such a blast with his movies in theaters.
Well, do we think it's going to come out?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Would you feel
I think
safe?
It's going to be like half capacity.
Yeah, would you feel safe if there was a structure in place and guidelines that these theaters abided by where it is a socially distant type of, I guess, theater seating chart, or however they decide to plan it out, where they let people in maybe a couple at a time, go to concessions and go to your seats, whatever way they do it.
Yeah, I think I would. I would. And I can understand people who don't. I mean, if you're at risk, if you're older. But, I mean, they have the opportunity with Fandango, with the online seating charts, picking your seat before you get there anyway. You could just block off those seats. You can't get them. So, I mean, it looks like we're going to start this phase of reopening. So, and I think people are itching to get back to some sort of normalcy. So, and they haven't budged.
And it's not the old-timey seats where everyone's kind of crammed in. There's a little bit more space.
There is space,
So if you go, even if it's one person, skip 2 or 3, then the next one. I mean, unless it's the Avengers, that's pretty much how the seating goes anyway.
Yeah, right. Scattered around.
So, yeah, I think it's obviously wait and see what, and if you're comfortable with their guidelines. But
well, you see this Amazon is trying to buy AMC, right?
Yes, I did hear about that.
But there's some sort of law that could stop them where it doesn't. No, actually, I think the law was actually struck down where it didn't allow production companies to own their own theaters. or I think they're working to get that law changed. So that to me is, I don't know if that's good or bad, because it's almost like Amazon
theaters
could change the market
They
because
could take over, dude.
well, they'll just shatter the prices, where
Yeah.
it's like we're just gonna gut these prices, get people back to. We can do it because we're Amazon, but then it's like monopoly territory. So I'm only gonna go to Amazon theaters, and
Would you mind though?
that's the thing. It's like something
I
that
wouldn't mind.
the movie theater industry desperately needs, but it's here comes Amazon, the $1 trillion company, to give it to you. So
Would that mean Amazon Prime? Would they have first access to?
right? That's what they were saying, that they would integrate Amazon Prime and.
Yo, he can make stupid money.
Right,
if
and
he does that.
These corporations, they always was talk about Apple and Disney merging. You know, you go to Disney World and everything's interactive with your iPhone, some shit like that.
What was the Parks and Rec joke in the finale when they go into the future? Or no, they didn't go to the future, but it was like a fake commercial for Chipotle, Exxon, something. Like just the weirdest three corporations combined.
yeah, Chipotle, Exxon Mobil, something like that. Yeah. It's so funny, dude, when it's somebody was like preserve Western civilization, and it was the KFC, Taco Bell, and what's the third one? The Pizza Hut,
Pizza
all
Hut.
merged into one. That's our modern architecture.
I love it.
Let's move on here, guys. You want to go to Telu?
Well, is
Telu?
Tenet? I was gonna bring this up too. Is Tenet like does that take over Dune at all, or is Dune still number one for anticipation for this
No,
year?
Dune is still number one for me.
But I
'cause-
think Tenet's number two easily.
yeah, definitely, without a
I
doubt.
think those two are just they set themselves apart as like these are the must see movies we have this year.
Dune, to me, it's. I just know I'm gonna wake up and it's gonna be 90 on Rotten Tomatoes. I just know.
No, it's gonna be higher.
Now it's not going to be, and people are gonna comment for the rest of my fucking life.
I think 84 would be fine. Would be especially for that movie because an 84 for
84
Our
I'm not seeing
society
it.
can't stand for an 84.
84,
Dune right
I'm not seeing it.
no,
so.
84 for Dune tells me that the 84% really loved it, but
Right.
the 16 are just fucking
Shitheads?
yeah. It's just like oh, of course they didn't like that movie.
Yeah.
It's like Avengers Endgame had it in low 80s, right?
Infinity War.
Yeah.
Yeah. Low 80s. The 95 is always the best, though.
Last Jedi had like a 91 or something.
Force Awakens opened with a 97. That was awesome. Let's move on to Telu 2.
What's the most?
Disappointing?
We'll get to Tilo eventually. Like, what's the most disappointed you've been waking up when those scores were released?
It's always going to be Batman v Superman. It always will be.
Yeah,
hurt.
you guys were. I remember you guys were ready to go.
That
You
hurt.
guys were excited.
Dude, I remember
for it.
being in my basement buying the tickets on Fandango and my mom going, I can't believe they still make movies with Batman and Superman. I was like, this is going to be the best one.
I was so upset I couldn't go.
Because we were all on board with that. I remember that's the closest I ever came to being a Zack Snyder fan. Because they had, I think it was the guy who wrote, Chris Terrio, who wrote Argo. I was like, that's the problem with Snyder. He's never got a good writer. He's a great visual director. He's got a good writer now. It's going to be good. Yeah.
It has to be.
30s. Ooh.
I mean, I still liked it more than you, but that initial percentage, I was like,
That's a shot to the stomach, dude.
Well, you did the classic, well, it's only got 7 reviews. I was like, starting in the 30s is...
Seeing the 30s is like falling asleep with your bed in and you're winning the game and you wake up to being blown out.
Yeah, no, it really is. I think there's one movie in history that it was the first 5 reviews and 2 of them were bad, so it was like a 55%, and then it shot up to like the 90s because all the other reviews came in. So, but usually even when there's like 7, 8 and it starts low, it's not going higher. But that was disappointing. Telu 2, this was not disappointing.
but you know what else is funny about that? Nah, you can go. I'm joking.
Well, Telu 2 gameplay trailer. You guys watch this trailer?
No, I'm not watching it.
I almost did that for this, but I was like, I should probably watch the trailer.
I actually toned out what I said and you brought it back today.
There's
before.
actually nothing in this. I mean, you want to stay away from the comments, but I mean, for you already spoiled it for everybody. So
I was excited for the game, but not as excited as I am now. Because now I'm finally playing the game and I'm fucking pumped up for this game.
Oh yeah, you're running through the first one.
Yeah.
Well, no,
This game
yeah.
is amazing.
Well, that's the thing we said, right? With all these leaks, it's like at its core, the gameplay and how you experience it, like how you're supposed to experience this video games, actually being involved and
Yeah.
playing the game. That's going to be more or less the same. And it's if you love that aspect of the first one, I think even if you don't like the story, you're gonna have fun with it in the second one.
Yeah, I think so. And I think with games, I mean, right, like you said, if there's a problem with the narrative, if the gameplay has upgraded and just looks better, it feels better, then at the end of the day, that you're still gonna have fun with that. And this gameplay trailer, just from what she was doing, the settings,
She learned how to swim.
Learn how to swim. Yeah, that is true.
Don't have to get her fucking wood pallets anymore.
I didn't.
Right.
No, he's strong. Treading water, holding pallets on her.
Joel.
Yeah.
What else was I going to say about? I mean, the acting sounds incredible. I mean, when she's like, "Don't move, fucker."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the performances were great. The breathing, you can hear every movement. The sound design was great. Sound editing. So, and it looks incredible. I can't wait to put this on the big TV and just get lost in it. You know?
Have you guys played with headsets on? Like the full headsets on?
No.
I had to turn it off.
Oh well,
I couldn't do it, dude.
What are they called? They call them the
Clickers?
creepers, right?
Clickers?
Yeah, right. That.
Yo, it was scary, dude. Like that subway scene I texted you.
Yeah.
It took me forever to get it done.
Have you done the part with the generator?
Remember
yet?
they had
Yeah.
Subway?
Yeah, I ran through it.
The generator scared me the most.
I ended up just turning.
I couldn't do it.
I turned the generator on and I just ran because I ended up. I was
That's what
searching
you have
around.
to do, yeah.
I was searching around the rooms and I found the hotel key. Prior to that, I went and searching around. I found the door. So like, oh, thank God. So I just turned the generator on and ran.
I remember the first time I did that when I turned on the generator, I didn't move. So I turned it on and I look around and the whole room is just zombies. Well,
If I don't move, they won't see me.
Right, yeah, it's Jurassic Park. Don't move a muscle.
You know, if this acting and gameplay is anything like the first one, when I turned the game on, Elena didn't know I was playing, and she deadass asked me what movie I was watching.
Yeah. Well, the opening, the prologue is incredible.
Sad.
It's so cinematic. I mean, when you could just move the camera around when you're going through the car and seeing the neighborhoods burning down. But I mean, I'm very hyped for this. I haven't lost any excitement even through the leaks.
Well,
because
I mean, that's the thing. As long as the game is like the first game, I think there's a floor that I don't think is going to cross into like terrible.
Yeah, I don't think so. Right.
So story-wise, that could be a different story. But as of now, I'm still excited. We're only a few weeks out, right? A couple weeks, the 19th.
Yeah, June 19th.
So
if they ruin the story, you guys wouldn't be mad or upset?
you could be upset about those things, but
I certainly might be upset by what they do.
I'm saying like the actual gameplay, hiding and kind of doing shit like that, some stealth missions. That's always going to be fun.
Right, like if I go through where I'm Ellie and we're just going through this world and we're butchering people and we're doing cool shit and she's got trauma that she's got to deal with, and at the end they make a decision where I'm like, whoa. It's not going to take that away from me because at the end of the day, it is a video game. And that's the interactive experience of storytelling. It's something special.
That's crazy, though. To think about, like, just a
like
video
if I was
game.
playing The Last Jedi, maybe,
Yeah, that is
more
crazy
people
how
would have
the
liked
video game, how they evolved into where you could be upset at story points but still have fun in the game. It used to be, it's a fun game, it's a fun game.
Right,
stories, it was secondary. But the way they've kind of
if you advance yourself
evolved.
as a video game though and get yourself like that, then you're held to a certain standard too. Where
No, they are held
they
to a
evolved
different
to-
standard
yeah.
now,
Yeah.
definitely.
So-
It's changed where some people are going to be, hey, it's not enough that the gameplay was awesome. And that was the big debate for the first game. It's not enough that the story was great. The gameplay, they said there wasn't anything special about
It
it.
got repetitive at times, and I think, you're kind of just doing the same thing over. But I thought it changed it enough where it was still, I think, challenging at times to figure out, all right, what do I have to do to kind of get over this obstacle and things like that.
they don't make those parts in the game though too long. That's what's great. Yeah, it's repetitive here and there, but the repetitive parts aren't long. You just do them quick, and then
Well, and I like
you're onto
to,
something new.
I like too. It's like, I'm running low on supplies, so you kind of have to strategize and things like that. So it kept me intrigued, even when it went away from the cutscenes and story.
Yo, does Naughty Dog expect you to beat the game with like 10 bullets?
Yeah, well, that's what I loved about it.
Is that a joke?
Gameplay isn't just how it looks when you're punching somebody, or just. And people were upset that the finishing moves, you're not actually doing them. It's just I forget what that's called. But it's also a story about two people trying to traverse a zombie apocalypse, and they're not superhuman. They're just regular people. So the gameplay is not going to be extraordinary. It's not a fantasy series, It's not God of War. So, and then if it flips now where it's like the gameplay is incredible, but I hated the story, that's just going to be so ironic for this franchise. But like Aaron said, we're getting close. How are those fan questions coming, Ted?
I haven't looked at them.
Did you? No
I
one
did.
asked.
I asked.
No, we did ask.
Oh, wow.
I retweeted it.
I think I have. Oh, you retweeted it?
Yeah, I had to.
Come on, man. You couldn't let me get my own thing?
You can mute the conversation if you want.
You were at 30 before I retweeted it. Now you're at 40.
That's a nerd suit bump right there.
I feel like I'm using like a PED right now.
Do you want me to take them or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm not asking the questions. Kidding me?
That's for the fan to decide.
Yay! People you call up to the show, you better be ready. That's what you're supposed to do. Sitting there arguing and you're trying to spell your name and all of this other stuff. It's not your show, it's my show. I'm giving you the opportunity to speak your mind. Don't call up here unless you got something to say.
We actually have a good one here from Zoe at ZoeY227. What part of your body would you replace with an improved mechanical version?
My right arm.
Of course, that's
I
what
was
everybody
thinking-
always goes for.
I was
right?
going left
Kidding
arm
me?
'cause my right arm already works great. My left arm is the one that's slacking.
Eye.
One eye.
Yeah,
Wow.
the mechanical eye that can like see
Sheesh.
through shit,
I
hack
can't
shit.
see shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have went with
Cookie
eyes.
from Nessie Classified with the
Yeah, boy. Yeah, right. Seeing all the fucking stocks.
Yeah,
Some
that
trading.
would be a good one. Maybe legs. You can run really fast. But you only get one leg or two?
one.
Yeah, it looks like only one, yeah. But that's why I only
I'll
said
take a-
eye for the eyeballs.
I'll take a left foot. I kick lefty.
That would be fun to just fucking unsuspectingly
Well-
kick somebody in the groin with your metal foot.
It always pisses me off in movies or TV where it's set in a period like whatever, like a long time ago, and like they spot something in the distance. It's like I would never be able to do that. There's no glasses back then. I can't see shit.
Right, no, yeah. Or one character's on a tall building and then he can see it, like, why are you scratching your face? And then you see the angle. It's like you can't see anything. That happened in Game of Thrones with Cersei and Tyrion when she goes to speak to him at the wall. I think so. I think it was an instance in Game of Thrones where that happened.
It's like even if it's like a regular distance where people of 2020 can see, I'm like, oh, there's so and so. It's like I can never do that, so I wouldn't be able to survive in the past.
Yeah, do this one.
Why don't you just read it?
I'll just say it.
Yeah, the easiest question ever. I can't even see the
This one from Noah Ross at nross37.
Noah.
Favorite summer drink.
favorite summer drink.
Yeah.
I've been
Do you have
recently
one? 'Cause
making
Mine's a Blue Moon.
You're so excited to ask the question.
I've been making a lot of margaritas lately.
Oh,
You like? I hate margaritas, dude. I hate
I
tequila.
love a good margarita. I got from a takeout from this Mexican place by me, and you can get margaritas to go because of the quarantine. Boy, did they know that people have nothing to do. They fucking they pump these shits up.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what Elena says. She
Yo,
gets hammered off of them.
I was on my fucking ass. I respect the hell out of it.
I straight up took the margarita recipe from the Rock's website, so I had to buy his tequila.
The Rock?
Yeah, the Rock. He has he does a margarita with lime juice, lemon juice, pineapple juice, agave, sea salt. And so that's what I did, and we've been making them every couple of nights, and good. It tastes like sour Skittles when you nail it right.
Whip up a few for the boys after the pod.
You're like, yo, where's your shaker, boy?
Here's one from.
Kid's getting fucking cocky.
It's a good one. I can't say his name though. Fabian Gomez Davalos. Which hero deserves a live-action movie/show? I've always wanted to see Static Shock at his own show.
Ooh, Static Shock is a good one.
Yeah.
I was saying the other day the Russo brothers should direct a Static Shock movie if they were ever
You
to
really?
go to DC. To myself.
Oh.
It's so funny. I was saying the other day to myself, literally in my room. Yeah, Static Shock would be a good one. I think Moon Knight is kind of coming.
Who's the other one from like the Warner Brothers? There was like he had like a red suit. It was like what do you have? He had like a huge letter on the middle of his chest. Let me look it up.
Red suit, huge letter on the middle of his chest. Crimson Gin?
I think from DC. I mean, there's so many. I enjoy the animated.
Was that the question from DC or just anyone?
He didn't say anyone. Anyone actually. He didn't say
Okay,
specifically.
Well, I figured DC because Marvel's kind of have plans to kind of get into everybody pretty much. But DC is still, they can go anywhere, and I do enjoy the animated films. I think DC, if say what you want about their live action, I think their animated films are top notch. So, and one of my favorite characters from the animated and the Bat Family is Nightwing. So, like
Right.
a nice Nightwing, I think it would be perfect for HBO Max show.
This question here from Michael Ventura. You got another one, Ted?
I
No.
think he's still looking for that
Trying to find
superhero.
Oh, yeah, with the red suit, right, in the letter. If you could go back in time and attend any movie's premiere, which would it be? Good question there, Mike. I would say the original Star Wars, you know? Any of the big
yeah.
ones. The obvious choices. The Godfather.
I'd
Any
say
of the movies
Empire.
that were big hits. Yeah.
Because that,
Were those big in the movie theaters? The
I was saying
Godfather?
Empire was probably
Yeah,
more
yeah.
so
Really?
hyped than A New Hope.
Oh, yeah. Well, the box
Even
office...
Phantom Menace.
This guy.
Yeah, Phantom Menace would be cool.
You know what this is?
That's not,
Yeah, it's like
is that DC?
no,
Warner
he's like
Brothers.
he's like something from the Animaniacs.
Yeah.
It's Warner Brothers.
I'd like to see an Animaniacs reboot. I know what that is.
Freakazoid.
Freakazoid. Yeah, right. Okay. So you want a live action Freakazoid?
Yeah.
Who's playing Freakazoid?
Jim Carrey.
It sounds good to me. I'm in.
Rocky 2.
It's looking back, it's cool that we were. Did you guys see The Dark Knight opening night?
Not opening night, no.
I guess I was the only one there. I was gonna say we were all there. I don't
We
know
saw
why
Man
I
of Steel
said-
together, opening night.
Yeah. Yeah, it's when you stole my fucking joke. I think we've told that story on the pod before, so
Have
we
we?
won't. Yeah,
It's a great story.
that's a terrible. Well, I mean, we'll save that for another time when they actually greenlit the new Superman movie. This question here from Mike Barker at Michael_412883. Favorite narration in any movie or TV show?
Probably Morgan Freeman, right?
But which one? Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodfellas with
Oh, I hate that narration.
what?
He's my type of guy. You know what? Yeah, I had to go to the store and then.
Is that a Ray Liotta?
I
No,
think
that was the girl.
Oh, Karen?
Yeah, that was Karen.
you didn't like him. His narration in that.
I liked when Karen.
I feel
comes
like
Oh, he's
every
great.
movie, I think Blade Runner proves this the most. His narration has never ever been necessary.
Bronx
for a
Tale was
movie.
good too.
in.
Okay, sorry guys.
You don't like the you don't like the
Okay.
narration from Shawshank?
Shawshank, good narration.
I wish I could tell you he fought the good fight. I can't do a Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
I picked a kind of weird scene to do it, but
I wish I could tell you.
I wish I
before
could
the good
tell
fight.
you. How did we all went back to that scene?
trying to think other ones.
I'm trying to think of funny narrators. Oh,
I
I
like-
like
I-
Patrick Stewart and Ted. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, but
I like
even
when he's a
Leo
funny narrator.
in Wolf of Wall Street, I think that
Oh, I can't stand that.
I think it adds to kind of the.
and I was making a lot of money, and I was doing a lot of money and doing stuff, and then it's him.
So what
making
narration
money.
do you like then?
I don't.
Oh.
That's my point. I hate narration in film. I just don't like it.
So if we say any kind
But
of
you kind of
narration, you're
use
gonna say-
It's just
narrating-
cheap. It's like, oh, here's an additional
Deadpool?
storyteller. No, Deadpool's funny. See, when the narration, I prefer it in comedies. When it's like, here's the story of how I got in this situation.
I mean,
Hey, I'm Deadpool. You know?
Goodfellas was kind of funny. They were trying to be funny.
I
mean,
do
you know, when he's
like.
going through the cabana with all the guys.
Ever since I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. That's the only narration I needed. You know.
cut it out after that. It has to work. It can be annoying if it doesn't. Like in Blade Runner, right? But
Oh, you know what's a good one? Apocalypse Now. I think that was a good use of the narration because the guy is going fucking crazy and you want to get into his head. And the narration is so eerie and it's great. So
Rest-
actually that it works for certain movies. It really does have to work.
Arrested Development is funny too. I like when it's not a character.
Oh, when it's just a famous person?
Or
Or
it's
just a
like
random person?
Yeah, just a narrator.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's the character, the narrator.
Who was always the narrator on the... Wasn't it always a famous person though?
No, it's the same guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
he's
it was-
famous.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it's Ron Howard.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure Ron Howard is the narrator for Arrested Development.
I'm not like a huge Arrested Development fan. I've seen a few episodes, but I've enjoyed the episodes I've seen with the
It's a
narration.
point someone made to you at a party a couple months ago.
No, I watched like
Haven't seen a lick of it.
I watched it a while ago. Then I killed like 8 episodes on a plane once. I enjoyed it. I was thinking of some narrations. Come
All
on.
right, this question here from Moonchild at Abigail. What are the best and worst movie reboots and remakes? The best and
That's
worst.
probably Dune. 2020.
Just Little Women, I guess. A Star is Born recently was a good
Yeah.
remake. Planet of the Apes was a very
Was it like better than the other one, or just good in general?
good and better.
Okay. Because I think there's been. I mean, I haven't seen the original Star is Born, but I think it was highly regarded when it came out.
Bad ones, Ben-Hur, you know. Hollywood always does this, where they remake a movie that's considered a classic, but nobody really knows it.
Cares
And they
about,
think,
yeah.
they think that the Ben-Hur audience out there, it's like, oh, it's Ben-Hur. What? Those remakes always do poorly. But there has, I mean,
The
obviously,
Ghostbusters one is more recent.
yeah. You know what? Ghostbusters became a movie where there was so much surrounding that movie that I hated, but it was so bland. I
Well,
mean,
Jungle Book.
Love Jungle Book, yeah.
Jungle Book is
That's a
really
good one.
Yeah.
What are you doing over there?
I'm looking at
Reboots.
yeah. How come The Departed was on here for remakes? Is that a remake?
It's a
Yes.
Chinese movie.
Japanese, or no? It might be a Chinese movie. Internal Affairs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies like that.
No, there was a Scarface. I didn't believe you guys. The Scarface we know was rebooted.
Yeah,
There's a reboot.
Yep.
try to tell you.
Not Internal Affairs. What is The Departed based off of?
Couldn't tell you.
Infernal Affairs. Okay. This question here from Zach at Zach's a Wacky. Favorite beer?
Blue Moon.
You're such a beer normie. You're an alcohol normie, and it doesn't piss me off because it's just who you are, and I've accepted that.
I was a big Bud Heavy guy in high school. That's all I drank was Bud Heavies.
But the way that you don't drink for taste.
No.
Didn't we
No,
answer this
never.
last week?
No,
think
I
so,
don't think
no.
we did last week. No, because I didn't know anything about Teddy's favorite beer. It's a surprise to me.
Well, actually, Blue Moon is the only beer that I can actually drink and not like make a face when I take a sip.
He's such a baby.
I love drinking with Teddy because he'll be like halfway done with a beer. He'll be like, yeah, I'm starting to feel this already.
Either that or I'll just dish it off to somebody.
Well, we got those drinks at Del Fuego, and Teddy didn't even want to taste it.
I'll never taste it first. So if I order a drink, Elena always tastes it first.
My favorite beer is probably Guinness.
Ugh. You
Love
just made me
Guinness.
sick just seeing your head.
Guinness is good. I like
You can drink a Guinness right now. If I handed you a Guinness, you can put that down.
Guinness is the first beer that I ever ordered. The first time I ever at a restaurant where instead of getting a drink like a soda or a water, I was like, you know what? Give me a fucking Guinness for this meal. And I felt so manly. I
Need
could
a
drink a
cigarette
Guinness.
before
If you
you
put a
Guinness.
Guinness, I have a bunch in the freezer downstairs.
Oh, let's crack a couple open after the pod.
Yeah, you got to pour them on an angle though. Get the foamies.
It depends. I like Blue Point. It's a local brewery, the toasted lager. So I'm pretty sure I mentioned that last podcast. We might have been talking about alcohol.
You probably
Maybe
were.
Just to fucking someone else asked me. I don't know. But I do like Brooklyn is very good too. Sam, I hate to say it, Boston, you did one thing right. And their winter lager is actually very good. Their summer is really good too. Depends. I'm always trying different beers and stuff.
I just tagged you in a question I wanted you to answer. Or, well, ask.
Are you serious?
I didn't want to say it.
This question here from Mason Thorne at money_Mace08. Question that I just found here. If you were to live in any TV universe, which one would you live in and why? I was thinking about this today. Because I always think about how I would never want to live in Westeros.
You do a lot of thinking, huh?
You ponder a lot.
I live in a podcast. Seriously. All I do all day is think about these scenarios. I just think about fan questions in my own head. Season 2, The Tickler, Arya, at Harrenhal. That universe is just so disgusting at times and so dark, and there's no hope. So I would not want to live there. Where I would want to live,
They do something similar in Walking Tall with the rat and the bucket.
yeah, well, I think so. Yeah, that's one of the 3 most comments we get. The Avatar universe would be fun. Everyone seems to be having fun. You know, you get born into one of the nations, you can bend elements.
No, I was thinking like the Na'vi.
No, well, that sounds fun too. If I could be a little Avatar.
I would love to live in Ready Player One's universe. That'd be fun.
I'll tell you
Did
what.
you see the universe they're living in?
That's sick, dude. Are you
Outside of
kidding
the
me?
video game, it's not doing. Yeah,
No,
they just
but-
all
yeah,
live
but
in
I
trailer
live in the video
parks.
game.
Right, of course, yeah. Well, in this universe, you would have to be good at the game in order to. The currency in the game is very valuable.
I'd figure it out.
You're not a great gamer.
Well, you know what I didn't get in that movie? So if they died in the game, they're fine outside of real life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
They lose all their stuff though.
Yeah, but they feel like they're like dead though. Like they pretty much like they might as well just
No.
commit suicide.
Right, yeah.
How
yeah.
they feel.
Okay, I thought maybe you were saying does the machine mimic the feeling of death?
No.
Okay.
No,
you
like
do
people
die.
are so
You do experience what it would be like for you to die, but
people are so engulfed by the game where they actually think it's their real life. And if they lose it all in there, then it's like they
right.
might
Well, Ready Player One is also it's back to the concepts. It's like a great concept, but he doesn't do much with it. Where it's really fun, but it's like you could have went further with this. Like there's so much that you could have done with this world.
I feel like every good movie that has like a different world that's different from ours, like the world just sucks because that's like the point of the movie. If the world doesn't suck, then where's the conflict arrive from?
Right.
Like,
Well, that was what was cool with Westworld is that the future was more optimistic. The architecture got better.
yeah,
World's
the
cleaner.
world itself is controlled by some evil robot.
These are the give and take.
Yeah, I guess
These
so.
are the trade-offs.
But
But even
iRobot too.
yeah, iRobot was
Nasty.
kind of a prettier world, right?
I thought it was nasty.
Was it?
More like dirty and
I haven't,
Oh,
scummy.
Will Smith
I
looked
haven't
good.
seen iRobot in a while.
Dude was swaggering around.
It's Chucks.
Prime Will Smith,
I
man.
feel like
What
more
a
like the
fucking movie
Shire,
star.
like in peacetime, is probably like sick as hell.
Right, yeah. I'm trying to think of places where I can, enjoy myself.
You know,
Harry
smoke some-
Potter world.
Mm.
Well, it's a lot of stuff going down at that school
yeah.
all the time. Peacetime,
Yeah, but if you're not part of that clique, you're not really seeing much.
Ooh, no, Star Trek.
You go to the school down on the other side of town, then you're fine.
That is true, yeah. Just go to one of the other schools. Star Trek universe, 100%. I always have dreams that I'm a Star Trek officer, and I'm just on the ship, like, giving commands. Like, warp speed, Data, Commander Data. I'm belaying stuff all the time.
I would love to be a Jedi.
Because sometimes you make a decision. Me too. Any more questions here?
Let's take one last
How long have we been going?
like
Yeah,
a
take one
half
more.
hour.
I don't really like this.
Half hour.
That's what it feels like.
It's fucking hot in here. Take one more before I explode.
Stockton and Malone or Nash and Amari from Just Some Guy.
That's actually a pretty good debate because both tandems never won. But I'm going to go with Stockton and Malone because they are the two Hall of Famers, and Amari will never be a Hall of Famer. So, and when they were in their primes, it was fun to watch, Nash and Amari, and they probably would have gotten one in 2007 if David Stern didn't totally screw them over by suspending Amari. So that was when Robert Horry threw Steve Nash into the scorer's table, and then Amari stepped onto the court, so suspended.
That team was probably one of the funnest teams to watch.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the prelude to modern NBA when you think about it.
And Stockton and Malone, I'm not going to say they ran into a buzzsaw. It's like they just didn't get it done. I'm sorry, Karl Malone, you were very good. Jordan was good too, but Karl Malone was 6'9" and jacked out of his face.
Yeah.
Get one over on this psychopath.
That's like that was in the last. I saw it. It was like a cutaway with Malone being interviewed. It's like, when I say Michael Jordan, what do you think of? And he said Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, he's still
I'm not
going to
say that. Well, he's like, I'm not going to say Michael Jordan wasn't Michael Jordan, but Chicago Bulls were Chicago Bulls. They were the best team ever.
Well, he was a choker in the playoffs. So Stockton, though, top 5 point guard, don't you think?
Think so.
All right, guys. Well, that's the podcast for today. I'm glad we've established that. John Stockton, good job,
He's in
buddy.
the top 5.
Hell of a career. Mama, the Nerd Soup Boys put me top 5. I don't know why he's from Mississippi now.
Wait, what trade did Stern shut down? It was a Chris Paul trade, right?
Yes.
What was the trade?
Let's not get into the nuances of 2011 NBA.
Well, you brought up Stern, so it got me thinking.
Well, okay. Well, that's I was gonna ask you any last thoughts. Apparently, you do have a couple. Yeah, well, shut up. That's the Nerd Soup podcast for today, guys. Thanks for listening, and like, share.
Again, in the beginning, guy.
If you're listening now,
hot lamp.
Comment hot lamp.
It's a hot ass lamp.
Comment, don't you touch that lamp.
Yeah, don't you touch that
lamp.
lamp.
Oh, why I touched it, but I did, and it's boiling.
It's one of those old school lamps. It's not an LED.
It just gets stupid hot, dude.
Yeah.
Upgrade your shit, man.
That baby's cooking.
Fire hazard.
That's kind of the lamps where you leave on. Like, if you leave on when you leave the house, you come home and your house is burned down.
Well, I'm an old school lamp guy. Just like you like cable, I like my old school lamps. Might put a fucking candle in here next time.
No, the old school lamp. You gotta get the lamp shade and everything.
Need the
this
thing.
This is modern right here.
Yeah, no, it is. That's a 90s fucking lamp if I've ever seen one. 87.
Akin to the Pixar.
All you need is like that swiggle on the.
That is a Pixar lamp.